Negative political ads.
$500 million will take care of you.
Certainly will.
Danny has gotten a lot of negative political ads from across America, and some of these are really, really ugly. Let's listen to the first one here.
Hi, sexy. You reached the live one-on-one fantasy line.
A phone number to an adult fantasy hotline appeared on Michael Arcuri's New York City hotel room bill while he was there on official business. And the call was charged to Oneida County taxpayers. Arcuri has denied it, but the facts are there. Who calls a fantasy hotline and then bills taxpayers? Michael Arcuri.
Bad call.
The National Republican Congressional Committee paid for and is responsible for the content of this message.
Oh, Jesus. Wow, that's a good one. What a dope this guy is.
Yep.
They're all dopes.
What a dope.
I'd want to vote for him, though. I respect that.
Of course you do. How could you not?
Yeah, you can relate to a guy like that, right?
The guy's just alone in his hotel room, wants a little time to himself.
Imagine it backfires and he wins by a landslide.
Of course.
I thought people would be against this.
No. They love it.
How great is that, though?
Oh, the guy's just ruining that hotel bed.
Right.
And he's billed to the taxpayers. Anything they could dig up now, because like we were saying yesterday, it's too dangerous for a candidate to actually say what they stand for.
Right.
Because people might disagree with it. So instead, they just bash the other guy. And that's all it's turned into.
That's a good one. Here's the next one.
I'm John Racy, and I approve this message. In a disgusting display of arrogance, Senator Byrd recently said that if my father were still alive, he would support Senator Byrd and be ashamed of me. My father, Dyke Racy, would be here by my side today, as he was throughout my life. When talking about his own upbringing on Fox News 5 years ago, Senator Byrd was asked about his mother.
You were talking about your mother and what she had taught you.
There are white niggers. I've seen a lot of white niggers in my time. I'm going to use that word.
I know you were trying to make a point where that word means ignorance. Is there a misunderstanding for what that word really means?
Well, I've heard many people use it. I've heard black leaders use it. I've heard white leaders use it. I meant nothing by that except, as you were saying, that's another one of those things that come and go. I don't dwell on them. I try not to live too much in the past.
I knew Dyke Racy better than anyone, Senator Byrd. And believe me, you're no Dyke Racy.
Paid for by Racy for Senate Committee.
That's all you can say after that?
And he's trying to, like, reach back to that great moment.
Right.
With the debate with Dan Quayle.
Right.
Oh, God, stop.
Wow.
Dyke Racy.
Dyke Racy.
Jesus.
That's a candidate you need to vote for.
Yeah.
How do you pull the handle for Dyke Racy?
Paid for by fast lesbians.
Yeah.
What a great name, man. That's a porn name.
Never would have thought they'd have gotten into NASCAR. That's great.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. All right.
Sponsored by a clam company.
And you can tell which car it is because it has fur on the outside on the roof.
Oh, this is good. Listen to this next negative political ad.
A young Florida state trooper heading home stops to help a stranded motorist. The driver, an escaped convict, kills the trooper with 5 shots. The killer is tried and convicted. Liberal Democratic Governor Bob Graham signs death sentence. Attorney Deval Patrick is hired by convicted killer. Gets sentence reduced. Now killer is eligible for parole. While lawyers have a right to defend admitted cop killers, do we really want one as our governor?
Wow.
All right, you can't vote for that guy.
Wow.
But I bet he's got an ad that makes the other guy look even worse.
No kidding.
I might have had the sentence reduced, but who do you think shot the cop? My opponent. Whoa, they left that detail out.
That's,
Wow, are they just using every little bit of ammo they can to just...
Where does this end, by the way?
Teams of people researching their opponents for bad things.
Where does this end?
They've
been talking uglier and uglier every year.
Every year it gets worse and worse, and I really think the New Jersey election last year
with the ex-wives involved.
Yeah, that set a precedent like anything goes. So and it worked. It worked. So the rest of the country now is picking up that ball and just running with it.
I love them.
I love it because they're all just scumbags, and it's showing them for what they really are. You know, and other people's also, it shows the American people kind of what what the voting public is about, too, because some guys try to take the high road and don't do the negative campaigning, and they lose. They lose. People are buying this crap. The guy said eligible for parole in that last spot we heard. Did they say when? Notice he conveniently left out eligible for parole when. Now, I agree. The guy, if he killed a cop like that, should be put to death, not in 20 years, quickly. Believe me.
Out back.
I'm all for it. But the guy left out how, when he's eligible. Is it 2000,
89?
89 when the guy's going to be dead anyway? I don't know. It's just odd. They leave things out. They twist things around.
Well, the next one is for Ron Kind.
His name's Kind.
And they say
this
he's
must be a pleasant ad.
And they say he's the wrong kind.
Ah.
What's this one about, Danny?
Well, this is good. And in the ad, what they do is they have a little W and a big R-O-N and then a little G, so you can see Ron.
In the middle of wrong?
And wrong.
Ew.
Oh, because you can't spell wrong without old Ron.
There you go.
I gotcha.
Good thing his name is not Skunts.
Let's go to Dan in Philly. Dan?
Hey, good morning, boys. How you doing?
Pretty good, Dan.
On the first ad you played of the sex line calls,
yeah.
read in the papers what had happened was it was one of his staffers that did it, and the call lasted less than 1 minute, and it was followed the next minute by a call that had the same exact numbers except for the last two, which was a congressional staffing office.
Yeah, they leave that out.
Oh, okay. See, they left that out.
Even the guy's opponent called and said it was a disgraceful ad. It's completely untrue. It was the Republican National Committee that ran the ad, not the candidate.
Yeah, that's another thing. Sometimes the candidates aren't even responsible for these. That's why they say, and I approve this ad at the end to show that, this is one of my ads. Sometimes it's just a group, an interest group that, is for the Republicans or the Democrats, and they'll really get brutal.
Maybe they asked him to go after this, and he goes, no, it was I understand why this happened.
Yeah.
It really did dial something wrong, and then he realized it was a sex call, so he just wrapped it up in 4 hours.
But
all right,
did he have it taken off? Probably not.
Yeah, you don't go down.
Mike from Boston. Okay. That's an ad for a masked governor. His opponent, Kerry Healy, has people in jumpsuits with signs that say inmates for Devil Patrick or Deval Patrick or whatever.
Devil, if your name's Devil.
Yeah, well.
I think you're winning.
She's also the one that has the ad. You might have seen it's like an animated ad, and it's about the Big Dig, and these little cartoons actually, they're asked a question like, what happened with the Big Dig? And the animation shows them like shoving their heads in appropriate places.
Really?
Yeah. And like that's the whole basis
like
of
turning and
like physically
like making a loop out of yourself and sticking your head somewhere dark.
Really?
Exactly.
And dingy and smelly.
There you go. All right, the next one, this is the Ron Kind one we were just talking about.
10 years ago, liberal lawyer Ron Kind was elected to Congress, and he's done almost nothing in the Congress since. And that's a good thing, because just about everything he's tried to do has been wrong. Ron Kind voted to take the words "under God" out of the Pledge of Allegiance. He voted to strip the 10 Commandments from our public buildings. Ron Kind repeatedly voted for gay marriage and to force the Boy Scouts to accept homosexual leaders.
Wow. This guy's despicable.
I like Ron Kind.
Ron Kind.
He's shaking things up.
And they were basically saying he's obsessed with the gays because
this is all he does.
repeatedly voted.
Repeatedly.
Like one vote wasn't
Where's the next vote for this?
Where's the next? Right.
I'm voting now. I'm just going to pass a hat around.
But the vote's over with, sir.
Don't care. Want to vote again.
They're voting on the victims' funds for 9/11. I don't go as long as the gays are in the Boy Scouts. I'll vote for it.
Please.
Hold on,
sweetie.
Sorry about that.
Sorry. Not only is the audio good, but the visuals that go along with some of this audio is great. Because when they're talking about the gay marriage and stuff, they'll have like a rainbow disco ball hanging with a wedding cake with 2 grooms on it.
Oh, they are the worst.
They're just a bunch of dopes.
That's very funny.
That is really funny.
At this point, why should we even vote?
Why vote for any of these idiots? They're all just despicable human beings.
Ron
music's
Kind
great, too.
repeatedly voted for gay marriage and to force the Boy Scouts to accept homosexual leaders.
Force them.
He even voted to let illegal aliens burn the American flag. For Congress,
You can vote for that?
Wow. Is there a vote for that? Yeah. I want to... Where is the thing where I pull the lever for letting illegal aliens burn the American flag? This is... Oh,
Makes my cake stomping look not that bad, right?
You know what? The bill was probably the standard bill whether you should be allowed to burn the American flag in protest.
Right.
And it doesn't sound as good, so you just pick a group and go, it could have been anybody. But allow illegal aliens to burn the flag. Now, that sounds bad. But it could have been just anybody, soldier's family. It doesn't sound as bad as illegal aliens.
Burn the American flag. For Congress, Ron kind is the wrong kind. The right kind of congressman is Paul R. Nelson. This former Marine is a father of four who supports Wisconsin values. Paul R. Nelson will work to stop illegal immigration, to end our dependence on foreign oil, to win the war on terror, and to defend traditional marriage.
I'm Paul R. Nelson, and I approve of this message.
That's a fake voice, right?
By Paul R. Nelson for Congress.
I'm Paul. Treat yourselves. I'm Paul Nelson.
And I like sex the normal way.
Why are you stepping on the voting booth when people trying to vote for me? Look, my Bible. Help yourself. Help yourself.
All right.
Yeah, he sounds like a Bible thumper.
That Paul Nelson is a stick in the mud.
Yeah.
The other guy wants Sodom and Gomorrah. Bunch of men without pants running in circles. Running the Boy Scouts. Forget those little uniforms. Put skirts on those lads.
Forcing the Boy Scouts to have gay leaders.
That's right. Smacking soldiers, burning the flag. I like Ron Kind.
Look at this, see? There's two men kissing. New Jersey to rule on legalizing gay marriage. Because that's one of the big stories out there. And they're sensationalizing it all day on Fox News by just showing men and I think more men or lesbians. I don't know what that was.
That was something with genitals and a mullet.
Yeah, they had the opportunity to show lesbians kissing on TV, and they find the butchiest, the ugliest lesbians possible. I guess to keep the story safe.
Yeah.
Find hot chicks.
Find hot chicks.
Why don't they just let gay people get married? Leave them alone.
Let them suffer like the rest of us, right,
That's
guys?
The gag. Yeah.
Why don't they just...
Hate that joke.
Just leave gay
every single time. Okay?
Ron Kind rules.
He really
voted to let illegal immigrants burn the flag.
Repeatedly voted for gay marriage.
That's all he thinks about.
And to force the Boy Scouts to take homosexuals.
And that other bore. I'm traditional values.
And all of a sudden the music got nice. Went from that ominous Boy Scouts being abused music to just bling-da-ding, the nice piano music.
I'm a former Marine, father of four, and I like sex the normal way.
I don't know about that former Marine thing. Hurrah! Semper Fi!
Here's the next negative political ad.
Next summer, I'm going on a camping trip with my friends.
Sounds like
on my way home, I'll be in a car accident and I'll be paralyzed for the rest of my life.
Don't go,
In 20 years, I'll have Alzheimer's. I won't recognize my husband or my kids.
Well, start taking notes now, then. There's a look into the future? Jeez. Get some loose leaf and some pens. You're going to need it.
Next summer, I'm going on a camping trip with my friends. On my way home, I'll be in a car accident and I'll be paralyzed for the rest of my life.
In 20 years, I'll have Alzheimer's. I won't recognize my husband or my kids.
Next week, my mommy and daddy are going to find out that I have diabetes.
This is my congressman.
Congressman Chris Chicola.
He voted against federal funding for stem cell research.
Is he a doctor?
Kid involved?
Is he a scientist?
Why did Congressman Chicola bet my life that he knows best?
Help me.
Help me.
Who knows? Maybe I'm your mother.
Maybe I'm your grandson.
Maybe I'm your little girl.
How do you know I'm not you?
Stem cell research could save lives. Maybe yours or your family's. Someone you love. Only Congressman Chicola said no.
How come he thinks he gets to decide who lives and who dies? Who is he?
Majority Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Wake up with Opie.
And I'll tell you who he is, bad little boy. He's the congressman who take your bad blood and beat it. Shut your no sugar tolerating body up.
I thought that was an ad for male nurses. Just a male nurse and a pillow can cure a lot of ills.
Wow. All right.
Funny.
Hey, you're sick, aren't you?
I'm going to be paralyzed in a car accident. It's an ad against Asian drivers.
Oh, well.
Poor Frisco didn't hear that one.
I was just about to say that.
We're going to protest. Stop out of it quickly.
Here's the next negative political ad.
Mm-hmm.
One away from the worst one Danny has heard so far.
Here's the question. If a teacher at your kid's school, or a friend, or a co-worker, if anyone you knew actually praised a convicted rapist, what would you think? Deval Patrick did. Here's what he said about brutal rapist Ben Laguerre.
He is eloquent, and he is thoughtful. There's no doubt about that.
Here's another question. Have you ever heard a woman compliment a rapist? Deval Patrick. He should be ashamed, not governor.
What did he compliment?
I don't know.
What did he compliment? Did she say what he complimented?
He had good, rope tying technique.
That was nice.
That was quite an eagle knot.
Oh, sorry, Danny.
That's all right. They just
I
basically
just don't think you're that important, so I keep your mic off. I'm sorry.
All right, now you can figure it out.
That's right.
All right, well, now I need you. You got me back. All right, go ahead.
They basically just took, it could have been from anything. They just took him saying something about somebody completely out of context, and it's just Deval Patrick.
Yeah.
Oh, he's very eloquent and this and that and the other thing. And just equated it to, this rapist. Like, unless you're going to actually go and do the research and find...
Could you please, I really want to know what this compliment to a rapist is. Because what politician in his right mind would do that?
I'm about to ruin my political career.
Oh, are you?
I'm Jim Norton, and I think rape is terrific.
You will never, ever hold public office.
Never.
Never.
Don't use that, I bet.
All right. Here we go.
It's against you.
This is the worst one you've seen so far this season?
Absolutely. If you didn't know any better, you would think that this was just a joke.
And this is an anti-Ron Kind.
Ron
Kind. Where is this battle taking place? Because I want more of these.
Wisconsin.
This is with the Wisconsin battle for what?
Cheeseheads.
I'll find out.
Is it governor or Congress or
dog catcher? I don't know.
Dog catcher. He probably is some real crappy position.
What the hell is a dog catcher?
I want to be your selectman.
Selectman.
Do you?
Well, let's take a listen. Here it is. 60 seconds of goodness.
Unkind.
With our servicemen and women facing death every day, what kind of congressman would try to gut military spending? The wrong kind. Ron Kind. That's right. Congressman Ron Kind is repeatedly voted to deprive our troops of the funding they need to fight for us. But Ron Kind has no trouble spending your money. He would just rather spend it on sex. That's right. Instead of spending money on cancer research, Ron Kind voted to spend your money to study the sex lives of Vietnamese prostitutes. Instead of spending money to study heart disease, Ron Kind spent your money to study the masturbation habits of old men. Ron Kind spent...
Wow. Are you kidding me? That's a skit.
This is like SNL, right?
That cannot be a real ad.
You're tricking us.
I swear this is absolutely real.
I gotta go back.
How do you dig this up?
They actually have this on the campaign website.
Oh my God.
He voted to study the masturbation habits of old men. How do you not love that? How do you not love Ron Kind?
Ron Kind gets my vote.
I want to move to Wisconsin just so I can vote. How do I make that happen?
This Ron Kind is a go-getter.
We need money for cancer. Forget it. I want to know what he's thinking while he does that.
I know it's hack radio, but too bad we're not being heard in Wisconsin. We would get this guy voted in.
Oh,
we would get all our listeners a vote for this guy.
Ron Kind.
We love Ron Kind.
Who's the
money
stick
on
in the mud?
Research, Ron Kind voted to spend your money to study the sex lives of Vietnamese prostitutes. Instead of spending money to study heart disease, Ron Kind spent your money to study the masturbation habits of old men. Ron Kind spent your tax dollars to study something called the bisexual, transgendered, and two-spirited Aleutian Eskimos, whoever they are. Ron Kind even spent your tax dollars to pay teenage girls to watch
watch pornographic movies with probes connected to their genitalia.
All right, come on now. Come on. Come on, there's no way. You're kidding me. What? This so would make me want to vote for Ron Kind.
Oh, my God. I want him for president.
This is going to make everyone remember his name.
Yeah.
And what he does. He's Dr. Frankenstein.
Can you make a promo out of this? This needs to be a promo.
How did he get away with the electronically hooking up teenage girls?
I'll bet you they were 18.
Yeah, of course they were overage. And they had to sign consent forms, so they're older. But they don't say that because it sounds a lot worse if it's that. And what kind of...
Please don't explain. I want people to think that he's actually this sick.
You know what? I would bet you that it's one bill that was signed to do some kind of like a grant that went to a college that they perhaps then used the money to study sexuality on the whole, you know, not individual things like he's running around going, get me to Vietnam, get me some teenage girls, I got electrodes, get me some old men, I want to know what the hell they're doing in the bathroom. You know, it probably is separated by him voting to allocate money to a grant to study sex, and they're picking it apart.
Who else wants to read the report?
Oh, please get it to me immediately.
I want the report on the old men.
The old men?
Absolutely.
You don't want the teen
well, that's hot,
electrodes?
I want to know where she was swelling up at. What parts of the movies did she swell?
That is awful.
But she got nice and swollen.
Ron Kind for president.
Wow.
Screw Obama.
Ron Kind is going to work his way up the political ladder doing what he's doing.
He sure is. I backed it up again. It's just too good.
Of course.
They are. Ron Kind even spent your tax dollars to pay teenage girls to watch pornographic movies with probes connected to their genitalia. Ron Kind pays for sex, but not for soldiers. If Ron Kind had better priorities, you wouldn't be having to hear this. Ron Kind is out of touch, and soon he'll be out of Congress.
I'm Paul R. Nelson, and I approve of this message.
Paul R. Nelson. I'm Paul R. Nelson, and I would never do anything like that.
I'm Paul R. Nelson. I don't find teenage girls hot.
No probes.
No probes.
Ron Kind is running against Larry S. Flint.
I'm Ron Kind. Opie, get away from my cake.
Oh, my God. I'm getting really good news out of Chicago. Jack, what's up?
Hey, good morning, Owen. Hey,
good morning.
I want to let you guys know that the WCKG gets a signal almost all the way up to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So depending on what county this guy is in, you can potentially influence that race.
Oh, people.
Please tell me we're talking to potential voters. Please tell me this. Because we're just about done with Jerry. I think Jerry's going to finally be voted off, unfortunately, but we'll see.
Are we taking up the Ron Kind cause?
Are we?
Are we officially throwing our endorsement behind Ron Kind?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, please tell me.
You know, if the other guy, Paul, what's his name?
Paul R.
Nelson. If he wants equal time to come on and debate, he can come on and speak his piece.
Oh, absolutely.
Can we get Ron Kind on the phone?
Please.
I want to talk to Ron Kind.
I want to talk to the guy that wants to study the habits of old men.
The old men's.
That's right. And he even provided crackers.
To an old copy of AARP.
He pays for sex but doesn't support the troops. What?
Oh, look at the cost of Florida real estate. Ugh!
Someone stole the Glengarry leads.
Oh, my God. This has to backfire on Paul R. Nelson.
Oh, I hate him.
Paul R. Nelson.
Praise yourself.
I'm a former Marine. I worked in the motor pool.
I just hope that's not a speech impediment because of something he did for this country. I pray.
Oh, Jesus, maybe we ought to have done our research.
I pray.
Oh, I hope he didn't take anything like
that's where I draw the line. That's right. That's right. That's where I draw the line.
Someone do some research on Paul R. Nelson.
Well, even if he did get hurt, he still wouldn't make his voice go,
Ma, you don't want to vote for Ron Kind, see? No, Muggsy.
Come and get me, copper.
Get me more anti-Ron Kind commercials. There's got to be more.
That's it. You know, there's a standout every election. Last year's was Jersey's race with Corzine and
I don't even remember the other anti-negative ads we played today. I don't even remember any of them.
This year it's Ron Kind and Paul R. Nelson. This is the race to watch.
That's right.
You cheeseheads got some entertainment.
But what are Ron Kind's ads like? I'd love to see what
I want to see a Ron Kind ad against Paul R. Nelson.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Ron Kind. At least I don't talk like...
That's all he should say.
Right.
Do you want this guy representing you? Hi.
That's not nice. Hi. Yeah, a lot of people checking out the video of the cake stomping. It's going to be on YouTube shortly.
Oh, no.
Shortly. All right.